Hello everybody and welcome back to Thrill Bards and a Maiden. Usually on this channel, uh, the videos that I put out are live performances from open mics, and that was my intent tonight. But unfortunately the weather got ahead of me a little bit, and the heater in my car went out, so I can't see through the windshield. So I'm going to do something else, that I promised at the very beginning of starting all of these videos, and I'm going to do some uh, solo fantasy role playing. Okay, so usually on fantasy role playing games solo, they show their equipment and all you see is their hands. Well, you know what? That's not how I play solo role playing game. Um, so what I usually do is I write it, I roll randomly and all that kind of stuff. Everybody knows how to roll randomly. Um, and I play in my lap. So I'm going to show you my little setup, how I play, and we'll do some playing with it right here. So here's my little setup. This is an old wine box that I have converted over into my fantasy role-playing gaming center. Let's take a look inside and see everything that's in there. Okay, so this is going to kind of be a play and narrate as you go kind of thing. So we're going to start out. I'm going to switch over to a picture of what ChatGPT thinks I look like. And that's going to be the narrator. That's going to be the big picture that I'll do any other little narration above. And I'll tell the story. And of course we have the star of the video, a character that I just rolled up randomly. It just so happens that I randomly rolled up a Bard character. So there should be an interesting adventure. And it should tie in with the channel because, three old bards and a maiden. Okay, let's go. Okay, so we're going to begin our story outside of town with our character whom we're going to call Pook. And the reason we're going to call him Pook is because my name's Harvey, and when I was growing up, one of my nicknames was Puka because of the play Harvey. Pook, our intrepid character Pook, is outside of town, and he's been called on a mission to perform. So we're going to start him out there and gathering his thoughts and wondering about what this performance is going to be like. So as he's outside of town and wondering which way to go next, another character rolls up. It's a goblin. He's a goblin in a cart, and he says, "Oh, what are you doing out here? It's kind of late." And Pook looks up and he goes, "Oh, well, I'm heading into town. You know they close the gates at sunset. It's getting close to sunset. You ought to be in town by now." And Pook says, "Well, yeah." He says, and the goblin says, "What are you doing with all those apples?" Because you can see he's gathering apples. And Pook says, "Well, I'm gathering the apples so that I have a little snack for later because, you know, I don't have a lot of cash. I'm a brand new character. The goblin says, well, why don't you climb on the wagon and I'll give you a ride into town. I'll get you in there. And Pook goes, all right. And the goblin asks, so what's that other thing you've got on you're carrying around with you? Is that kind of weapon? Weapon? No, it's not a weapon. That's my instrument. I'm a troubadour, a wandering minstrel, a bard in training, I suppose. And the goblin says, a minstrel, huh? Well, goblins like to sing too. Want to hear a goblin song? And the goblin starts singing. Goblin songs are kind of like Vogon poetry, best avoided if possible. They make their way into town, to the entrance of the town, and they're stopped at the gates. And Pook gets out and he moves away from the wagon a little bit because, you know, it's a fantasy role-playing game and he's anticipating some sort of problems. So we're rolling some dice here. And sure enough, there's going to be a conflict. The gates are closed. You can, and up on the top of the tower, you can see this old pirate there. And he says, "Avast there! Where you going? You know the gates are closed at sunset. You can't come in." And the goblin, he gets furious and he says, "What are you talking about? I'm a teamster here, and I've got stuff to deliver." And the pirate says, "Avast, snot breath, snot nose, turd breath, open the gates." And two goblins appear at the top of the gates, at the top of one of the other towers. And they go, "No, you can't come in. You can't come in. We're not going to let you come in." And our teamster goblin, he's just furious. And he says, "I've got things to deliver. Yo, turd breath, I'll get you over there. Open those gates right now." And you see the goblin picking up one of the apples that our character has picked in the previous scene, and he loads it into his sling. And that goblin's on the tower going, "It's a fun trick. We're not going to let you in. We're not going to let you in. Your mother was a hamster and your father smelled of elderberries." Monty Python reference there in case you noticed. So the goblin, he loads his sling and he goes, and he swirls it around his head, whips an apple out at one of those goblins, picks him right in the forehead, knocks him down, and says, "Now open that gate, or I'll give you one too, turd breath." So just then the pirate on the other, the pirate guard on the other tower, he bursts out loud. He goes, "Arr, mateys, arr. I'll let you in. All right, turd breath. Open the gates for him. Arr. So they open the gates, and the goblin says to our character,
Come on, climb on back. I'll get you that. I'll get you to your gig.
And they drive through the gates. And as they're driving through the streets, so as they're driving through the streets, the goblin stops in front of a street vendors. There's a bunch of hobbits there selling cakes and pies and pasties. And he says, I got to unload. So he and Puka, they get out and they unload the wagon. And Puka gets back on. He chats with the hobbits for a moment, and he gets back onto the wagon and sings them a song as they go. And they drive off. Waiting to get to the wherever the bard is going, probably a bar or a tavern. That's where most adventures start. The goblin, our character Pook, turns to the goblin and he says, "So, you've been swearing the whole while," and the goblin has been. He's like, the whole ride. And Pook says to him, "I'm sorry I caused you any trouble. I really appreciate the ride. I'm sorry if I caused you any trouble." And the goblin says, "Trouble? No, you weren't any trouble. As a matter of fact, that's the most fun that I've had in a couple of days. It was so good hitting the snot-nosed young goblin in the head with the apple. I love that shoot. Yeah, no, actually, I actually enjoyed your company. Thanks." And he says, "Well, I gotta go now." So the goblin and the bard pass away. So our character Pook passes away. And he's at the gig now. So he's heading to the door of the tavern where he's going to go. I think maybe we're going to call it Desert Oasis Coffee Roasters. And where's the city that he's in? Lilliputian. It's a new store for them. All right. So Pook tentatively enters the tavern, where he's going to try and join in on an open mic. He's immediately greeted by two friendly faces. "Hi, cutie." Hello. "Hi, cutie," they say. Hi, my name's Pook. What's yours?" "Well, our dad calls us Thing 1 and Thing 2. "I can see why. Nice meeting you." "Nice meeting you too. We'll talk to you again later." After greeting the waitresses, Pook is surprised to find that he has other people who know him here, and they knew he was coming. Well, no surprise in a D&D game. And he greets each one of them individually. It's Adam, it's Jesse, and it's Shelley. And they come up to greet him. "Hello, Puka! Are you going to play tonight?" says one. And he says, "Why, Adam, and Jesse, and Shelley. Hey, I'm glad to see you. Yeah, I hope I can play tonight. I'm kind of nervous about it, but yeah, I hope I can play and maybe earn a little extra coin or find out where else I can find work." And Jesse says, "Well, I've already played, and Moonstone is up playing right now. You know her." So Puka looks up on the stage and he sees a Elena Moonstone and a couple of her backup singers playing a song. So he listens for a bit and he carries on the conversation again with Jesse. Jesse, so how is the crowd tonight? Oh, the crowd is the usual tonight. You know, take a look around. See what's happening. They seem to be, you know, normal kind of crowd. Some are listening, some aren't. Anyway, and Adam comes up at just that moment and he says, "Okay, you're up. Good luck. Don't blow it." Puka takes the stage, he takes a few steps towards the stage and starts to set up. He's trying to get a feel for the audience too. They are, we'll roll a percentage dice on this and see. Okay, their attitude. And their attitude is pretty average. It's a neutral attitude, so just above neutral attitude. So they are curious about Puka, but mostly indifferent. Oh, and as he's speaking to the crowd, introducing himself, a few more people turn around, and he's at least got all of their attention now. Yeah, butterflies are terrible just before a performance. So, you know what? Maybe we better, make another roll for his, for his charisma bonus for persuasion or performance or something like that. And, then we'll see where his performance goes from there. Oh, that's you know what? I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to invite you to tell me what his performance should be. How's he, you can rate some of my songs and, as to whether or not they were well received by the audience or something like that. And I tell you what, there is a playlist on my channel, 3 Old Bards and a Maiden. It is Renaissance music and role-playing game music. That's the playlist that's on there. I think there's about 20. Why don't you guys roll a random table and tell me which ones you think that he should be, which one of those songs you think he should play. Or maybe he should play an original. And I'll perform it for you on the next video. All right. This is going to be an end screen. So over there to, let's see, my left, which is over here somewhere. There'll be a couple of videos. I'll try and make a reference to this new playlist or the playlist of the Renaissance music that I've done or the fantasy music that I've done. And I hope you listen to some of that music and some of the other music that's on the channel. And I'm wishing you all peace, love, and light, and a life filled with harmony. And, an occasional role-playing game, too. Bye for now.